check.
Hello,
1 2
mic
1 2.
check,
We
mic
are
check,
live.
yes.
Bentley Blue Duck, current affairs. We on the show. We're here. Uncle Pete, Joey Bridges, Elyse. What's going on?
What is good?
Oh man, a whole lot.
Peace and
Enjoying
Jerry.
life. Yeah. I'm enjoying life. Yeah. So what's up? This is our first time meeting, right?
I know it is.
Yeah, we have talked. We talked on the phone, talked on text message and whatnot. Had a good vibe, a good conversation.
Definitely.
I felt like it was definitely gonna be good when we had you on. So, Uncle Pete,
How are you, sir?
how you, man? How was your week?
Very busy week, but it's been
Yeah.
a blessed week. I got a lot accomplished, and we're only on Tuesday, so.
Yeah, I love when that happens.
Yep.
Yeah, I find myself having a lot of time lately. You know, when you're not complaining about not having time.
Oh yeah, that normally happens.
Yeah. You're like almost like you put yourself in a certain state where like you're thinking about not having time so much that you like almost make yourself not have time. It's crazy.
I'm trying to embody the quote advice that if you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready.
Oh.
I mean, I've been a procrastinator most of my life, so I'm trying to move into a space where I'm preparing for my days the day before, keep good notes on the day, and these type of things. Like, I've known these to be good habits, but I haven't actually executed them as much as I could.
Nice.
My mom says luck favors the prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So
I say, what did somebody teach me a while back? He said, proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
yep, that one too.
That's a good one.
My friends call me MacGyver
MacGyver.
because I have so much stuff. Like not
Just that could.
not hoarder like,
Right.
but just like, oh my God, I need a safety pin.
Gotcha.
I got one of those.
I got you.
You know right where
Yeah.
you know
Oh
right
my
where it
God,
is.
My wife's just like that.
I cut my hand. I need a Band-Aid. Hold on, I got you.
Look at me. Look at me. My wife like nursed me up the other day. I had a bad week. I mean, at
That's
the
what
end
it's
of the
about.
week.
Look, it's always good to have that one resourceful friend.
Oh man. And that's got to be your best friend when you're married. Yeah,
Ditto.
for sure.
Yeah.
She cleaned me up. I even told my daughter not to go get her, and she went and got her. What? My son come in. He's just starting to talk. So my son comes in. He's like, "Daddy, what happened?" I'm like, "So clear. Like, what? There was emergency." But yeah, she bandaged me up pretty good. These are some new kind of Band-Aids. Kind of cool. They're like skin, and then they just got medicine already on them, and they just do their own thing. It lets your body just do its thing.
Look at technology.
I know.
The world we live in.
Yeah. See,
Love
technology
hate.
is more than just like phones and computers.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It is, because the more we advance, the more we have to like make up for our like anything that could go wrong. Now we have to be more secure about it.
Yep.
You know, like so it's we advance and then we're like, all right, now we got to create something that would keep us safe from the advancement. But, so what's going on? This is 2 Cent Tuesdays. Current affairs brought to you by Bentley Blue Duck. We are brought to you by Bentley Blue Duck, obviously sponsored by Think Free Revolution, Fidgets McGee, and who do we have sponsoring this week?
I thought it was a sponsor, but I'm not exactly sure. We always, one of the sponsors is always
Always the
the
guests.
business of the guest, whatever they're involved in. So I don't know what it is that you're promoting.
So
today.
it's definitely the conversation.
For sure.
So 2 Cent Tuesday brought to you by the conversation. Miss Elyse is here.
Yes, I am.
Is that your name, like your radio name? Let's say
Actually, so I have a nickname which is Honeybee.
Honeybee.
So if I could pick a radio name, it would probably be Honeybee.
That's
Nice.
strong.
Yeah.
Have you been on a show like that? Like how long have you had that nickname? And are you from
my
the area?
God. So yes, I'm from Belmont, North Carolina,
Okay.
and born and raised. And it's so funny how I got the nickname because do I share the story now or you want to share it later?
No.
Yeah,
that's-
shoot. Yeah,
that's
that's
what you
where
said.
we're at.
So,
That's right.
I love it.
it's so funny because I had I don't have children, but I have a host of cousins, little cousins, nieces and nephews, and so they come to my house all the time. Like, you know, the parents need a break, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch them. And I always have snacks. Like Aunt Elyse always has the best snacks. So I have honey buns all the time. So what happened was my little cousin goes home and he starts praying at night with his aunt. And he's like, God bless grandma, God bless auntie, God bless honey bun.
Wow.
And so my aunt goes, who is honey bun? Because he didn't know my name like that because he's really young.
Wow.
So she's like, who's honey bun? And he's like, you know, her house. We went to it today. day.
That's how he knew you.
And that's how he knew me, as Honey Bun. So now they call me Honey
How
Bun.
old is your nephew now?
Oh God, he's 14 now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago was
It's
this?
probably when he was 5 or
Maybe 3, 4.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
what kind of? I think there's a difference in honey buns. I'm a big fan of honey buns. I don't eat a lot of them anymore because I'm trying to cut back on sugar. But,
Right.
there's a big difference. When you get a honey bun, it's got to be like the good one, not the one that makes the roof of your mouth a little dry. It's got to be like a solid honey bun. I went through this when I worked at this place. They didn't carry the ones that I liked, so I couldn't get a honey bun in my coffee. I was so upset. Right.
So are you a Lance Honey Bun or like a Little Debbie Honey Bun?
Just nothing that's got the dry icing. It's got to be like a nice wet glaze.
You
Like,
can
you know
see
what
it
I
through
mean?
the plastic.
So you like it warm? 'Cause
No, I
typically
mean I
you
do
get
like it warm, but most of them, some of them are like, even in the package, are like a dry icing, and those are the ones that make the roof of your mouth like dry, like at the end.
So
And
when
you're
it
like,
starts, when it transitions from clear into like white,
yeah,
that's a little too much. It's not
there's the
in
better one. Yeah, the
Right.
better ones are still clear. They don't even go
That's
into
what I. That's
that
how I
space.
feel. Yeah, that's what I.
They
in
don't
my mind,
become
that's
solids. They're still.
Well, I think our taste buds start to develop as we get older because when you're a kid, it doesn't matter. It's just sweet sugar.
Whatever
So
it
they're
is,
just
yeah.
like, give it here.
Yeah.
And I load them up and send them home.
I'll tell you what. I had organic lemonade from Harris Teeter the other day, and they used cane sugar. And when I was raised, you used to make Kool-Aid with cane sugar.
Right.
And now, like, the sugar that you buy isn't the same as the
No.
cane sugar. And then when you buy, like, these drinks, these juicy juices or whatever they are, they have high fructose
Yep.
corn syrup.
Oh right,
And it's
instead
like a
of made
complete-
with real cane sugar. Yeah.
That's right. And then you go to some, like when I went to the Dominican Republic, they actually had soda was made with cane sugar because
Yeah.
that country has, fields of
All sorts of
cane. Yeah.
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, like this sugar that we eat here is terrible. Like it's no good. It doesn't
Well,
even taste good. It's
yeah,
like,
we do-
It tastes like a chemical after you taste the real stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and then why it's bleached? Why things have to be bleached? That's probably a whole.
Like milk.
Whole
Like
conversation
I
behind
don't
that
think
shit.
people would drink milk unless it was the color that it is, and I think they know that.
People
I don't
would,
drink
I don't
milk.
think
You
enough
drink
people
milk?
know about milk.
I don't drink milk. I drink almond milk.
Me too.
Yeah, me
But
too.
but it was a
Coconut almond.
transition.
I do
You know.
cashew almond. Or it's pea milk. I just
do
bought some pea milk.
What is it?
Vanilla.
The
Vanilla almond.
Vanilla almond.
Yeah.
The silk or just doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever's cheap.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'll do
Whatever
the
the
brand.
Aldi's brand is.
Yeah. I do an almond cashew, and sometimes you got to do the ones that have the extra protein because really, typically almonds don't carry
Right.
the protein, so they do an almond cashew. Even a soy, I don't do much soy, but if people knew what was in milk, sometimes like it
Yeah.
could be in milk, like just
But that's just period food nowadays. It's
Yeah.
like, I just had a conversation with a friend. Why does legs cost more than wings when it's more meat on them? Like you can get a pack of legs for like $3.50,
yeah.
but then you get a pack of wings and it's like $6. But at the same time, we were thinking like, where the hell are they getting all these wings and legs from? Like, it's not as many. This is not that many chickens in the world. It's just not.
With the GMO, right? They're making ones
Yep.
without, like I've seen without heads
Yep.
and stuff. They just literally grow them,
Yep.
and then that's what we're eating, and then
Yep.
they even puff them up with
Yep.
saline, and it's just that's
Yeah,
why
it's
they're
ridiculous.
so swollen. We're like, well, that's a big chicken. We're like, no, it's not. It's actually little chicken swolled up, like, and that's why I think older folks say they're like, we didn't have these problems. And we're like, yeah, but your food was purer
Right.
than
right.
it is now, and that's the problem. It's not the ingestion of the meat, maybe, even though I tend to lean towards eating as little meat as possible. but
Right.
it's what's in it or what the animal is eating,
Right.
and then we get it, and then that's what sucks. So it's so hard to eat good.
It's so expensive to eat.
It is. It is.
So you literally have to budget to eat well.
Yeah.
When I worked at GNC, I would tell people, they would say the same thing, like it's expensive to eat good. I said, what's expensive is living with diabetes or a triple bypass surgery. So, like the money that in preventative measures, I think, like, and it's a lot cheaper than if like you eat out every day. Like if you make, food at home and you do your shakes and you eat the way you're supposed
Right.
to, it's definitely way cheaper than if you eat out every day and you're eating. Even if you think you're eating healthy, like what's the healthy option? Like Chipotle, like.
Yeah, you don't know
like
what's in
Subway,
that either.
like
yeah.
so if these are your options, you're still spending like, for a sub, what is it, $7 and
Yep.
change probably,
Yeah.
and then you get Chipotle, you're pushing $10.
Yep.
Like it's still cheaper to cook at home and just bring your meals where you go.
If you're being stingy, you can get away with $5.
Yep.
Like somewhere, you know what I mean? But still.
I mean, yeah, what are you gonna get?
Yeah. You probably just get the sandwich, the grilled chicken sandwich, or a wrap.
Or
You know,
can
or
do like I do.
the
Get-
3-inch. So.
I get the Chick-fil-A kids meal grilled.
Oh yeah,
Chick-fil-A.
that's right. Somebody told me about that. Yeah.
Oh my,
Kids meal,
Yeah.
grilled, yes.
grilled.
You can get how many
How much
nuggets?
is it?
6.
$2.99.
It's $5.
It's $5.
Yeah,
Right there.
for the kid, for the you can get the grilled chicken nuggets, 6 count, a bowl of fruit, and a drink for $5.
And you can
Pretty
take the
strong.
toy and get an ice cream.
Look at you! You know
Come
the tricks
on.
of the
You
trade
can
here.
get, you can
kids.
get what? What did you say?
You can trade the toy for an ice cream.
Oh, nice.
That's why I hate if we happen to go to McDonald's or something, and my daughter wants like a Happy Meal. I'm like, it's come for the toys, and I'm gonna fucking throw away.
Yep.
It's one of those toys that are in just a bucket of McDonald's toys. They're just crap. Like,
Yep.
They're not the best toys.
no, you just
No.
give them away. I mean, they're cool, some of them, but like
Maybe you got to get a hold of McDonald's and get them to do fidgets.
get them to swap out. Yeah, I wouldn't need still
Promote
fidgets.
fidgets
If I was a
movie.
parent, fidgets would be like, oh. But I collect them like
I'm so old
a
that
kid.
value meals, like the Whopper meals,
Man.
they used to be $2.99.
Yeah. You can still get Wendy's.
I think
with
they're like
the $4.
$7 now. It's like $3. It's like
It's expensive.
yeah, like I can't buy that stuff.
Mm-mm.
If I'm eating out and it's something quick, I'm getting Chipotle. Am I saying it right? Chipotle.
I think
Chipotle. A lot of people say Chipotle, and the T is first, and then the L.
Yeah, that's what
So
I
it's
thought.
Chipotle.
Okay, I got it. So yeah, no, like for under $10, like that's if I gotta get it quick, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, under $5, I'm going 4 for 4 Wendy's.
Oh
You
yeah.
get chicken sandwich, chicken nuggets, drink and fries.
Yeah, I got one of those the other day for Brian. Yeah,
4 for 4.
yeah.
I'm going to Chick-fil-A still.
Yeah.
The big
Chick-fil-A, I'm just getting the sandwich. I'm gonna get a regular chicken sandwich with 2 pickles for less than $5. That's how I used to budget at the mall. Working at the mall, you spend a lot of money.
Ugh.
Every day you're
I
doing
worked
it
at
for the
Payless in the mall, and it was right in front of the Cinnabon place.
Oh my god.
I worked at GNC at North Lake. I used to manage that store. Right across was the cinema.
Like,
Right by the movie theater.
what do you
walk in,
do? Like especially at the end of the night, if you close and they just have them sit
And
out
your
there.
name's Honey Bun, and there's a
Oh
cinema.
man.
I mean,
at
it's-
the end of the night they give you.
Yes!
I used to wait for that. Like at Christmas time when we're
They
doing the
give them
Christmas.
away.
Yeah, you get them like 5 minutes before closing.
Yes.
And they're about to throw that shit. It's got to be perfect timing because some people are cool. They'll save stuff.
Yep,
Some
exactly.
people are like, no, I'm throwing this shit away, and that's all there is to it.
Yep.
So you got to get there like when they're about to throw it away, and then sometimes people say, no, we can't.
Can't do it.
We
We get
can't. I'm like, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Throwing in the
I'm
garbage.
like, I'm bringing the rolled pretzels and the cheese sauce.
All of it. Give me all. Especially, and I was in college when I was doing that, so
Mm.
I was super hungry.
The cinnamon sugar little bites.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I
But anyway,
started my diet yesterday.
that was the old me. I don't do that anymore
Jeez.
because I don't work
I
at the
still
mall.
have an inner fat kid, so it comes out every once in a while, and it loves sugary sweets.
I think everybody does.
When I was disciplined, 85% of the time I could afford it, but I've been so far from discipline on my diet in like the last 18 months that I need to not eat Cinnabons right now.
My treats are like shakes now, like fruit shake, blueberry, strawberry, and I mix them up and put like the peanut butter powder in there. And then
Aw.
I treat myself, but those are my like
Wow.
treats, and maybe ice cream. I don't know. But what's your like guilty pleasure? You made some ice cream out of some.
Out of protein?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Oh man! Every time I'm at his house, he cooks
Yeah.
something going on.
I love, whenever I have people over, I love to cook food.
Yeah, we had some good stuff. But the ice
My
cream.
guilty pleasure is definitely it's definitely chicken wings. I know you're probably looking for like some type of dessert, but
Yeah. No. Whatever your guilty pleasure is.
all right, yeah, like
Whatever you like, definitely.
Definitely-
If it's
definitely
there, I'm
chicken.
eating it.
it's chicken wing.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. It's $1.
Mm.
And don't let there be like a lot of them. Like I go crazy.
House.
I can eat 36.
Wing or
and eat
leg?
no
Are
problem.
you a wing or drumstick?
I like the legs more than I like the wing.
I like the wings because I can hold them. You just pull them all off at once.
But I'm
Never
not
done
one of
that?
the people who like, can I get all drum stuff?
Oh, I
Yeah.
like all
Oh.
flats.
Oh, words.
So you
All
order all
flats.
Yeah, I all flats.
Man.
Like
yeah.
literally, we had a debate in the group about that. flats or drums.
Yeah.
And like people take it serious, like myself. I hate drums.
Yeah. What is it about them? Are they just messy, or they just? I mean.
I feel like they don't have as much meat.
Yeah, there's a lot of meat in that middle of a wing.
It is so
a lot
much.
of meat in the middle of a
And
wing.
maybe it's also a joy of conquering the flat. I mean, there's like you gotta tear it apart. Something like maybe primal about it. You gotta tear it apart, get your hands dirty, and then the drum is just you have. It looks like it's a lot, but then it's
and then there's
so
only
much
certain
fat,
parts
and
you
then
really
it's
can't
like
have.
the grizzle part that you
Yeah.
really can't eat, right?
Yeah.
So
You can suck on it.
Promote
like
what
you
you love. Don't sit over here and talk shit, because I like the
Oh,
I'm
the
yeah.
other one.
I don't mind. I don't
When we
care.
go out and eat wings, then you eat the flats.
flat.
All right.
Then you get
See what
something
I'm
together
saying?
and save some money.
Yeah.
That's how,
I don't know. It depends on
care.
how many
I don't care.
wings
And
other people in on.
And I love the South.
10.
And I love
I
the
can do
South.
10.
I appreciate the South. Thank you for having me. For everybody who lives in the South, but I do have to talk about.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for having me. And the barbecue down here is better than it is in New York. That's a real thing.
I like block
But,
parties.
but when you get chicken wings, originally they're called buffalo chicken wings. This is the name of these things where it comes.
Right.
And you offer, when people order it, they come with blue cheese.
Love it.
And then when you order wings in the South, they say, do you want ranch or blue cheese? And I say, okay, like, I understand you put ranch on just about everything. But
Yeah.
like, when you ask me if I want blue cheese or ranch,
Buffalo
I'm
wings.
gonna ask you to put blue cheese before the ranch. Like, that's
Hey,
important. I feel like
Elyse,
that's important. What are we doing?
For this segment, you can put it here and spin. But the next segment, we're going to switch it up.
Okay, cool.
We got time.
Here, let me get you over here. You know, there's also
Yeah, when I moved here, I went to the grocery store, and there was like 38 different types of ranch.
Yes.
You guys are serious about your
Okay,
ranch
yeah,
now.
okay. Let me mic check. Hello, 1, 2.
Yeah.
We are very serious about our ranch. I grew up on ranch.
It's like peppercorn, like there's a million buttermilk.
Right. But the best,
Oh, no, it's spin the other way.
the best is either always Hidden Valley.
Okay.
Hidden Valley is like the greatest. Hidden Valley Ranch is where it is, or the homemade ranch.
Homemade's got to be.
Like the homemade
Like restaurant
but
style.
Restaurant style.
Yeah.
But they have to make it right. It can't be too runny.
Right.
It can't be too mayo-y, or
Yeah.
it just.
There's something about a ranch that you can still see almost the grains of whatever it is, the
Look at
seasonings
you.
and stuff. Yeah.
See?
Oh man, we're working in restaurants all the time. Like you definitely
That
see
ranch
some.
isn't. The sauce is important.
When
down
it comes
here.
in those like things, and you're like, oh, this restaurant sucks. And you're like, you're the cook in the back, knowing that you're serving. And then even some kids I knew at the camp used to tell me they would say there's antifreeze in there, or the same chemical they use in an antifreeze is in a ranch, in certain ranches. It's a
I heard
chemical.
that about
It's-
Fireball. If there's some-
Fireball?
yeah, with the fake whiskey, the cinnamon stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
If
yeah.
there's something in it that, like whatever's in antifreeze, there's the same.
The same, yeah.
Right.
It's like ingestible, but not. I don't know what they use it for, but anyway. But you got to get a good ranch.
You do.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it. But blue cheese on wings for sure.
You been watching anything in the news lately? What do you got?
What do I got? I
You
got.
any notes about?
I want to shout out to Ryan real quick. Ryan wants to come up. Ryan's gonna pursue starting his own third party. Call it the Middle Class Party. And he
Is this
wants
Ryan
wants
that
to gain
owes
the,
an
the
apology or
fringe voters that aren't sure here and aren't sure there. He's like the ones that just voted because they had no other choice, but they
Right.
still feel certain types of
Right.
ways. We can get a fringe vote, like if you start a party. Somebody's got a party. Wasn't there what was it? There was a Republican Party though, but they were called they were more libertarian than anything.
The Tea Party? Or is that what you're talking
No,
about? There's
no, the Tea Party's.
What do you mean? There's different parties besides
It was the
two?
not the Confederate Party. It was like the American. I forget. It was that other guy that was running. Anyway, what's in? He was talking about a legit third party being the Middle Class Party. Anyway, the Mexican border, the travel ban was passed. They still had
Yeah.
the one he put in. They said still
Yeah.
good. They're still trying to fight that. I don't know. 3 out of 5 countries are Muslim based. That's half. I mean, I don't know. The details of it I'm not really sure of, actually. I know that certain countries he didn't, so he could still do
Right.
business. Now,
Right.
that's the shit I'm concerned about.
Right.
It's not like, if he would just shut up and do things that, like, were according to what, like, the better of us, that'd be cool, but, like, I think he's got his own interests as well.
Of course.
So his party interests, because he wants to fit in with this party that he doesn't really, like, align with, I don't think. But he's doing it to do it. and then overturning everything Obama did just for the spite of
Yep.
it, and that's stupid. Like this, and then his own interests as well as making deals with other people that are pushing what he's doing and what he's doing for the country forward, and I think that's where lies the problem. It's just whose interest is it in?
Did they ever find a killer of that kid that got shot? The rapper
X?
kid? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they said they were like. I would like to talk about that. Yeah, Joe Budden had an awesome talk about it.
Okay, fill
I
me
love
in,
his
because let me
podcast.
tell you, when it comes to politics, I am halfway in, halfway out, more so out.
Yeah.
Because
What I was talking, I transitioned because I don't do a lot of politics either.
as far as the shooting gets,
The kid triple extension or whatever.
okay, yeah, so fill me in.
I call him triple extend.
I never heard of him until he got. There was a
See,
there was
that's
a
so weird that I can't even
there's a
say it.
hip-hop
I said it.
artist- There's a hip hop artist that got shot, and I believe it was Miami.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
he's like 20 years old.
they tried to say that like he had relationships with particular women that may have caused somebody in the family member to want to harm him.
Okay.
And I didn't know if they found out that was true or if they even caught the guy who killed him. I didn't know if that was something that we were paying. It was big in the news. I'm surprised you didn't hear of it. Like I've never heard of the artist before the news that he got shot.
Actually, orange sandals led to arrest of triple extentacion. That's how extentacion is how you say it. He was the first video I ever seen of him. He's 20 years old. He's controversial, but if you really listen to his music, he's got some deep, conscious stuff. Like he's going through a lot of shit, right? But then he got himself involved with a girl, and I guess, dude, like he broke her nose and like she's blind in one eye. Like, I mean.
Like I said, I
That's
never heard of
nothing
the
to be,
kid, and
like-
then I heard she came out and said that those accusations were true, but then I don't know anything. It's literally in the news, and I don't know anything about it. It's pretty much what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
they said accused killer appears in court.
So what
Yeah,
was
so-
the big what was the big deal about it? Like, I mean, did he get killed on some? Are they trying to figure out why he
Yeah,
got
the
killed?
motive.
Or,
Yeah, he was coming from a bike dealership. He was in his Lamborghini. His album just came out and he was doing really good. Like he was a underground controversial rapper. Like the first thing I seen of his was when he was on a stage and he was showing like a little kid being hung.
Oh, this is the same guy.
Same guy, yeah.
Okay,
But
so
his
I do
other
that.
stuff is like just as like controversial
Edgy,
but
yeah.
deep, edgy. Yeah, like I think.
I heard he was. I read an article that said that he was taken off of iTunes or Apple Music or one of these things.
For that song.
Because it just like the conduct and it was
Yeah.
hate speech and all of these things.
Yeah.
And then it went back up. Like his
Yeah.
stuff went back up, but for a while they took him off.
Yeah, so what he was doing in his own life, and then he had talked about turning around, doing what he was doing, and really felt bad about it. Like, I think Joe Budden even said he was on the phone with him, like he had direct contact with him, and he felt really, like he was really sincere about wanting to be forgiven for, what he had done with that girl and all that stuff. But
Right.
despite that, like, I think, like, a 20-year-old's dead, and the circumstances behind it, like, I don't know where his anger issues came from, da-da-da-da.
Right.
And as an artist, are we judging him? I understand, like, he's, done some bad things, but, like, they were like, saying, he fucking deserved it, good for him, he's dead. And I'm like, he's dead? Good for him? Like, I get it, but he didn't kill no one.
Right.
But did he deserve to die because he was beating his girlfriend? Like, they probably deserved a beating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but holy, like, somebody took it far, might have killed him for it.
I think that's why I really don't follow the media, and I don't really watch the news either.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what?
I don't watch it.
There's
Like,
a current affairs question on this, and it's always the hardest one for us to select because I don't really watch a lot of stuff that's
Yeah.
present.
I pay good enough attention. I don't watch like the mainstream as much, but I do get the story from all sides. Like how Fox is saying it, how CNN's saying it,
Right.
and then NPR is my main go-to. So I'll listen in my ear. What's going on today? They kind of sometimes are biased. They'll word the question like
right.
President Trump today said, and then they'll say apparently, or like they'll use like a word that'll be like almost a little to the left, and like so I pay a little bit of attention to a lot.
It makes people turn into detectives.
Oh
and,
man.
and it's like everybody has their opinion on what happened, but doesn't know necessarily what actually happened. And so you get all of these different perceptions on what coulda, shoulda, woulda been, and it turns into people who don't know exactly what's going on giving all these opinions about what could have happened, and now you're formulating your own speculation of an individual based off of what the media is actually giving you, and not really who that person really was. Like, I mean, what your perception is from knowing him 5 minutes from reading an article is way different from his mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's way different from his close friends. It's way different from the people who actually knew who he was. And apart from the victim, in this case, the young lady who said she experienced domestic violence from him, like, still you had a relationship with this man.
Yeah.
And, you know,
that's different than a stranger.
Like, yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
So, you know, her coming out saying what he did wrong to her, okay, you know, unfortunately that's bad. Like, and he felt remorse for it. And you had
even
somebody,
she said, she's like, I didn't want him. Like, I'm not happy that he's gone. Like,
right. This is not a spotlight on.
Yeah.
Let's make it bad. You know, let's make him bad, and let's make his, like you said, his death be deserving because of violence that was inflicted, you know, between them and their relationship. She's forgiven him.
Right.
You know, so why are we as a society, why is the news highlighting this one aspect of who this individual is?
Does it often.
They do it all the time, which is why I'm like, I can't deal with it, because it's, what is it true? Is it not true? I just don't have time in my mind to rent that space to figure out.
At the end of it, like, most of the time, like Joe was saying, like, you'll get people who say he deserved it or he didn't deserve it, right? And then it becomes like a place where there's like two different narratives or maybe a few different ones.
Right.
But like, you're on one side and you're not with those people because those people are saying this. And those are like why I kind of avoid a lot of the mainstream media stuff, because I think it perpetuates like a division.
Yeah, definitely.
The reason we do the show here is we're looking for, you know, commonalities, things that exist within people that we can agree upon. Like, when I read your thing, you put like an emphasis on the power of love, right? Mm-hmm. And stuff that like brings people together, rather than like, oh, you're a Democrat, I'm a Republican, and I don't like Trump, and then you're like, well, what if he did this, and what do you think?
Right.
Like, I'm not. That's way too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate picking sides.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like, if there's a side I pick, it's the one that is where everybody's on. Should be trying to push towards being on the same side.
Yeah, because you can't. I thought this through the other day, and I was somehow System of a Down came to my head. It was like, we can't afford to be neutral on a moving train, because people say Trump train. So I was like, you can't be neutral on this train.
No.
It's moving. I want to stand for things that, rather than fight other. You know what I mean? I think that's where my head's at right now. Though I'm trying to. I've kind of toned my political stuff back a little bit, but then most recently I started getting back into it. I'm kind of trying to find a place in my head where I'm not fighting something, but I'm standing for something else.
Right.
So this way, I'm not going to put my energy into resisting it.
Right.
I'm just going to go this way.
And don't get me wrong. We should all be knowledgeable to a certain extent of our politics and the things that are going on around us in regards to politicians, because at the end of the day, the law is really what's going to run everything. And if we can get the right people in place to make sure that these laws are changed for the betterment of what we're trying to do collectively, you know, just here in this podcast and on your platform, then maybe those people could make a difference. But it's going to have to start with them being elected, you know. So I think there's definitely an importance for us to know who these officials are and put the right people in place who's going to fight.
Yeah. Being engaged with your local community to me makes a lot more sense than me putting like how my day is going to be dictated by whether or not I hate Donald Trump or I love him, right?
Right.
Like, if there's some local politicians that stand for particular things, and then you see that they're engaged in the community, you know, prior because they did, you know, work with the centers, or you know what I mean, or like what work did they do? Like, then it's easier to stand behind them. But I stay away from politics because at a certain level, I feel like they're just giving you lip service at the end of the day. So.
This woman, I just seen just recently, they're all these people now, these hosts of different shows that they have. I mean, especially the females, like just the ones that are like super like Tommy Lahren types.
Right.
There's a lot of them now. There's like 3 or 4 of them. And now these other dudes that are super like gun promoters are like getting it. There's that woman that somebody.
Half of the planet is women.
But yeah. I'm just saying on that represent a particular side. They're like mad conservative.
Oh,
like,
so there's
just
more
real-
Tommy Lauren specific type character.
Yeah. They're like it's almost like people realize they're like, ooh, this is what gets views and what makes.
Right.
I
You know
hate
what I
that
miss?
motive.
I miss
That's-
Oprah's. Where the Oprahs? Like, where are those women who literally bring light? You know, like the Ellens. You know, that actually bring light to situations in a peaceful way, or try to promote, you know, positivity on some type of level. Like, everything now is either a gossip or it's a they take a lot of times women take the feminist movement and use it for the wrong reasons. You know, they take it and they use the platform to spread more gossip. They use the platform to spread, you know, bad messages in regards to hate, or they try to make people take sides. And at the end of the day, like, I feel like if you're going to be on such a platform like that, it's okay to have your opinion in regards to these things, but also be aware that you have a following of millions and millions of people. So you have an obligation as well to be, you know, consciously aware of what it is that
For sure.
you're saying to people. You know, these women in position have, you know, thousands and millions of followers, and you're conditioning people at that point, and you just got to be careful on how you condition them.
I think there's extremes on, if we talk about sides, both sides. You know, both
Agreed.
sides, both extremes are like a bit ridiculous. Even the super liberal, like, it's like, all right, you can't just, in parenting, I see that. It's like, I can't just let my kid go anywhere.
Right.
But I'm not gonna grab him and hold him here and make sure he doesn't, because that's gonna make him, like, when I do let go, he's just gonna go, like, you know. So, similarly in society, in politics, I think we need to find like a cohesive middle.
Right.
And I think in our show, we like to that's what we want to do with guests and whatnot, so we can, like, no matter what side you might be on, we want to understand where you're coming from. And
That leads us right into the next
eulogy.
Yeah.
Yes. And 2 Cent Tuesdays brought to you by The Conversation
Yes.
this week. So we want to shout out to The Conversation. This is Current Affairs brought to you by Bentley Blue Duck. I am Joey Bridges, Uncle Pete over here. We're going to roll into what we like to call the eulogy, and the eulogy is spelled YOULOGY.
Okay.
And if you haven't guessed why, because it's all about you. So we want to know more about you.
Me, little old me.
Little old you. Yeah. I have a feeling your personality is not little. Right?
What?
Oh, come on.
No.
No way. Yeah, you're
We'll
definitely. Go ahead, Pete. Let's intro this up.
So typically, the first question we ask everybody is kind of like walk us through like a day in a life, a week in a life, a month in a life, a year in a life, kind of where you're headed, what your goals are, but how that starts in a day and how it moves forward.
So for me, it's all about peace. So a day for me is waking up. First of all, just being grateful that I woke up. I try to start my day off every day with gratitude, because even though I don't necessarily enjoy getting up and going to a 9 to 5 all the time, right now situationally that's where I am, and instead of me having this attitude of being disgruntled every morning, making it more harder for me to get up and go, I try to start off with saying, you know what, I'm grateful, because I could be in a position to where I don't have, and I love my apartment, I love my car, you know, I like these things, so this particular avenue or outlet affords me the opportunity to have it, so immediately I'm grateful. Now, I'm not a morning person, so that gratefulness does not look like gratefulness in the morning. Like, I'm like, don't talk to me after 10. Like, let
Are
me
you
be.
a coffee drinker?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I drink a bottle of water every morning, and I drink, if you're from the South, they call them nabs, which are the little orange crackers, the peanut butter crackers.
My
they
son
come in
loves
like,
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bottle of water and some nabs.
Nice.
Yes. So, you know, I go throughout my day. I'm always trying to be as positive as I can. I was taught from a very young age that it's very important. Words have power. Words have meaning. You can't just, you know, spew things out and not feel like they have some type of consequence. So whether or not the things that you say are good or bad, they have some type of effect on somebody, and they're going to touch somebody in some type of way. So I try to consciously be reminded, even though I'm in a grumpy mood or I'm happy or sad or whatever I'm feeling, I try to make sure that I at least speak positivity somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think just because I do that, the way my life has been progressing, it definitely has allowed me to see the big change and impact that it has on others. Because I think, Pete, you posted in one of your platforms or on your platform, is a man who was like, he looked like he was down and now he had a hat on, it was raining, but a little boy looked at him and said, "I like your hat." And that made his day. It was like somebody acknowledged me, somebody recognized me. So I'm the chick throughout the day where, like, you and your wife Joey may be walking and I may look at her and be like, "Oh my God, your tattoos are so dope." And she's like, "Oh my God," she's paying attention to me, she's looking, and I'm like, "Yeah, like, they're dope, you know, it's nice." And I feel like that's important because a lot of times people feel forgotten. And I try to make sure that that I'm positive in that aspect. So busy I am right now, day to day. I am a part of the conversation. Social media or social media networking group is what I labeled it as. What we do is, you know, we're a group that comes together, a bunch of individuals. It's probably about 900 on the platform right now. What we do is we actually created a safe place for people to converse. So they do so. It's controversial things on there. They do it anywhere from religion, politics, sex, love, money. And we actually allow people to post those things because we want to see what everybody's minds look like.
Right.
We want people to actually think free. Put themselves in a position to where, you know what, this is my perception on thinking about this particular subject on this platform or in this light, but somebody may post something and it may trigger something in you, and you say, I never thought about it that way.
Right.
So you kind of, you know, take it from that conversation, and you're actually infusing yourself with a new way of thinking, a new way of being, and ultimately that can move you towards, you know, you being closer to living your truth. So right now for me, every day I've been trying to do what I promote, which is living your truth. I think I know me personally, I found it very hard to live my truth before I had this epiphany about 3 years ago in regards to living it, because we're conditioned so much from an early age to ignore who we really are on the inside, which is why I encourage a lot of people, parents really particularly, to pay attention to their children, because it's important to cultivate who they are as little people. You know, we can't just continue to put our own conditionings on these little bodies and these brilliant little minds and think that they're going to be as successful as they can be because they're going through identity crisis, you know, when they grow up.
From being so little.
You know, so it's, you know, my thing is, it took me a long time to get there. So live your truth is my thing every day. That's what I do. I try to walk in my truth. And one of my favorite songs is "This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine." And I didn't really realize what that meant. You know, I thought it was literally some little glowworm that Jesus had, and you just lit up when you sing the song.
Yeah.
But I really realized that it was about allowing the inner person in you, the inner God in you, to really shine by just living and being who you are, because it's naturally going to shine.
Yeah.
Like, it's just naturally going to shine. So I kind of just try to promote that. I'm busy day to day with the social media group. I'm maintaining that platform. We have gatherings. We meet up with each other. So I work Monday through Friday. So my Monday through Friday pretty much looks like that. Every Thursday, the conversation has a podcast that we do, or a Facebook Live called Talk About It Thursdays.
Right.
And so in Talk About It Thursdays, it's a very interactive platform. What we do is it's probably in between 2 to 4 of us who sit down, and we literally post a question in the platform that the day before, something to the extent of, what do you feel about Kanye's rant? We try to keep it, you know, with the current affairs as well.
Right.
Or, you know, so when the Kanye controversy happened, it was like, hey, what do you guys think about this?
And then,
so they posted all these questions that they had in regards to what they, you know, wanted to speak on the platform that day. And so the next day, which is Thursday, we take the time and we actually shout out the members who posted something. We read their questions, and then we all have dialogue on it. The panel and the people within the the platform. So it's really fun. Everybody's engaged. You know, a lot of times with the podcast or with the lives, people jump in and out because you know we get bored sometimes. You know, so it's like we'll watch it for a couple minutes, and then because I'm not engaged, I'm going to bounce back out. And hopefully, if they're on in the next 30 minutes after my show goes off, then I'll get it back on. But I just learned that if you engage people, then they feel like they're a part of. And it's very, very, very important to make people feel like they belong to something. If you want to brand yourself, then you have to make the people feel like they're coming with you and not you're on a platform and they're below you. So that's what, that's something that I definitely pride myself in regards to the conversation. Because that Talk About It Thursday, it's a lot of fun.
So what's, I plan on being there this Thursday. It's Fox and Hound, right?
Yes. Yeah,
North Lake?
Yep, Fox and Hound North Lake.
Fox and Hound North Lake. Want to tell everybody. Fox and Hound North Lake will be,
Talk About It Thursday.
Talk About It Thursday,
yep.
Right? We're going to go out there. So can you give us, what is the... Can you tell us the topic a day early?
So actually, we're I don't know if everybody watched it last week, but we're going to continue with our controversial topics.
I commented on one or two. I think somebody said one about which one did you post recently? A few days ago was I forget.
Oh my God, they post
I love the
so
topics
much.
though.
Yes, they post so much, so it's automatic. It's always rolling.
I'm still
through.
getting notifications from 3 days ago on the same topic.
Yes, so
yeah, I like it. Yeah.
And that's the beauty behind the platform because it's so interactive.
Yeah.
And you honestly, you post something or you comment on something and you leave it, and like 2 minutes later you get a ding in your phone, and it's like, what do they have to say about my comment?
Oh,
or
yeah.
what do they have to say about my post? Like, how does this person like the way my mind works? Or what is it that they can enlighten me on in regards to what did I miss? So it's really, a lot of times people say that the conversation has taken over their notifications because it's just that engaging. Everybody has something to say sometimes, and they just want to be heard.
There's something to say about having a safe space to say it.
Yes.
I think I wanted to do some events where you can do just that. Like, let's all just talk like it's as free as you feel.
Yep.
Like, say what it is, so we can get there, find out why, and then we'll get in the middle. I think.
Yeah, I mean that's a beautiful thing about having a conversation. I think for me, one of the biggest things has been because of social media and because of technology, like we talked about earlier, being the way that it is, we've disconnected. We are connected, in a sense of the virtual world, but we've disconnected in regards to actually just sitting and conversing with one another. Mm-hmm. It's literally has been a thing where we're shorting people in regards to our words. We forget that words have power because now you have acronyms for words. They're not even real words like stuff, LOL and SMH, and you're having to actually, it's another Bible or dictionary for what abbreviations mean nowadays. So not everybody's caught up in that world.
I am doing emojis now.
Hieroglyphics.
I
like
can speak
we're going
emojis.
backwards.
Yeah. I kind of like it. I like.
It's not a bad thing. However,
but the personal human to human, eye to eye contact connections are gone.
It's
like
gone,
not gone.
and we're losing them.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important that we continue to maintain those. So that's what the conversation is about, and so I take a lot and I do a lot in regards to maintaining that platform with the help of the other admins that are on there. They do a wonderful job of making sure that they're helping because that we can't do anything by ourselves. People make the world go round, and so I definitely give acknowledgement and where it's due in regards to that. So with that platform, I'm doing that, and I'm out creating. So Monday through Friday, I'm doing that. Talk About It Thursdays on Thursdays. And then the weekend, if it's not conversation filled, then I'm either by the pool right now or trying to figure out where the hell I'm going on vacation to.
Nice.
You spoke about when you sent the information back on the invite that there was a time where you decided your shift happened when you stopped fighting against yourself.
Yes.
And I didn't want to necessarily make assumptions about that. Would you speak about that just a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So there was a point in, and what was the actual question, B? It was.
I think it was how did you get here, which was kind of like an open-ended, however you wanted to answer it.
So I was going to be a smart ass, and I was going to say,
we get that sometimes. Joe invited me, and I don't feel like doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna be a smart ass and put that, but I was like, no, I'll dig a little deeper.
Because you knew what it was.
I knew.
It didn't really that way, but
yeah, and like when I read it, I'm like, okay, that seems similar to my story, but that's when I decided I didn't want to make an assumption,
right?
That because the words matched up, that it was the same type of story,
right?
So,
the question, and for the guys that's watching, it says, how did you get here? And so my response to that is, I got tired of fighting myself. I took a few months after my divorce and a horrible breakup with an ex that had been going on for years, and I just said, fuck it. I cried and I was angry, confused, but even in the midst of it all, I learned to find my peace, value it, and be okay with me. Then I had to learn how to be strong in judgment, because I knew that not everyone liked this version of who I am. I had to be okay with that. Lots of mental strength. God puts everything inside of us that we need to be great. We just have to find it. And so for me, like, I had gotten to the point where I was a people pleaser. That's how I grew up conditioned-wise. My mom is an awesome woman, but she is very, very, very hell-bent on making sure that she helps everybody but herself. And so, she's awesome, but that's what I grew up watching. So I grew up making sure I took care of everybody but myself. I was the oldest of four, and so my mom's a single mom, and so there's a 10-year gap between it's four. It's two of us that are side by side, and then another two that's 10 years apart. And so at 12 years old, I'm at home with an infant while she's working third shift. So I got tossed into mom role very, very, very young. And I had a lot of responsibility that I had to take care of. So immediately, my switch from being a kid and understanding that of what being a kid means was kind of like pulled from me, because I had to immediately be in an adult role. And so with that, I started to learn conditioning-wise to put others first. And so I never really, it became a pride thing. Like, I took pride in making sure that everybody was taken care of with me. You need something? I got you. This needs to be done? Don't worry about it. I got it. And so it moved to the point where I would be exhausted physically and mentally, but I was still pushing myself to do for everybody else. And there was something inside me that would always say, Elyse, what do you want to do? Like, even something that I didn't want to do, I did because I wanted to make sure I stayed face value. I wanted to make sure that, everybody knew that I was to be accounted for, or I was accountable, or I was dependable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I wanted to make sure that was my name. Elyse is dependable. We can always make sure we count on her. But then I realized that people are lazy. And they will allow you to do all the work for them, for them without their help. They just want you to do it, and they start to rely on you to do that.
And then your help turns into enabling another person to be small.
But you don't really, when you're in that space, you don't think of it like that.
No.
And so, I was married.
Your value is attached to it.
Right.
So it doesn't even matter if it enables another person.
It doesn't matter.
Your value is attached to it. So you look like you're being selfless, but you're kind of being selfish because you're hurting other people too by not living in your truth. Right?
Exactly. And you're hurting yourself. I didn't realize how much I was hurting myself by ignoring myself. And I think a lot of people go through that. Like, they ignore what they really feel deep down inside, because conditioning wise, they're so used to being one way. And after you grow and after you learn and expose and experience different things, even in your spirituality, like, certain things start to pull and tug on you in different directions, but you don't know how to listen. You haven't learned the art of listening to you. And so the breaking point for me was, I got married at 29 years old. And after I got married, I was very unhappy. great guy. We're two great people, just not for each other. And, you know, instead of being in a situation where I wanted to stay somewhere where I didn't feel wanted or didn't feel needed, you know, we decided to bow out of the situation. It wasn't as graceful as I would have wanted it because those things are painful. I've never been married before. He'd never been married before. And we literally moved into a situation like, you haven't been married, I haven't been married. We look like the marrying type together. Let's try this out together, you know? You're strong here, I'm strong there. We're going to make great babies.
The timing's right.
Yeah, the timing's right. And then literally, no, he was around the same age. But he was both of us were very strong individuals. And we had this goal of getting married, and we reached that goal of getting married, but
you lost yourself.
We lost completely.
Both of yourself.
Both of ourselves.
So, is it a fair statement to say that you're actually able to be in service of other people better now?
Oh, God, yes.
Because you're true to yourself.
What?
Right.
Yes.
It's ironic, right?
Yeah, it's
I'm
so ironic.
I'm gonna focus on me, and once I'm good, now I'm helping other people.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing it the way you used to do it, it seems like you're draining your cup.
Yes.
I heard that like you love people. I heard this like as a metaphor that your cup like it overfills, and what you do is you share love from your saucer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like the cup that's the saucer that's under the cup. Got to make sure your cup is full of love and positivity, and then from the saucer where it overflows is where you share with other people.
You serve and you love and you share from your overflow, because at the end of the day, you can't do anything for anybody unless you yourself is right.
Are full. Full. I mean, so
this is what I would imagine. This is what Live Your Truth is about. This is what this is.
Exactly.
Congratulations. So you're an embodiment. Like you've experienced. You're not only a hair club president. You're also
a client.
I'm a client.
You're a client.
What's it saying? My cup runneth over.
Yeah.
And that's actually a blessing.
It is.
Like when your cup runneth over, like that's a
surely
blessing.
Goodness and mercy will follow you.
Oh wow! Then you share that overflow.
Yep.
All right. So
great.
That leads me into the next one. We got like a couple more questions. I don't have that much time, but we'll squeeze it in there. And if we got to go over sometime.
Yeah.
So if you were to give, like, what a TED Talk is?
Yes.
It's like a 20-minute, like, you get up and you speak about a particular thing that you're very passionate about.
Yes.
If you were to have a TED Talk, what do you think your topic would be?
But not 20 minutes.
No, you're not going to give us anything. I just want to know what
topic.
I just want to know what the topic is. Now, we're not asking you to do this speech now. Just whatever the topic may be.
Literally, my topic would probably be live your truth.
Okay.
And under that would be the art of getting to love, getting to know you.
Okay. Now, the next question, you may have seen I've been posting a lot on Facebook to promote for the show, but what would you consider to be your 5 personal keys to success?
The first is vision. The second is perseverance. The third one is knowledge. The fourth would be connections. And the fifth would be reciprocity.
I love that one. I say that word sometimes. People are like, what the hell? I love teaching people new words, but I'm not like, I'm not a dick about it. But I'm like, when I say it, they're like, what is that? And I'm like, ooh. It's my opportunity to teach you.
What does that mean to you, since you like that? So.
Reciprocity. This is about you, but reciprocity to me is the back and forth of I do for you, you do for me, but beyond I do for you, you do for me. It's like a reciprocity is an understanding and a respect for who you are, and then it's a return of respecting and understanding who I am. So the reciprocity of you and I respecting each other, and giving and getting back and forth, and it's fair.
Reciprocity for me is one of those things where it's like I invite you to be yourself.
So like a namaste type of
like I invite you to be yourself, and just like you were saying, Joey, it's the exchange that we have. I give you, you give me. However, I'm not looking for you to give me exactly what I give you.
Right.
I'm just looking for you to give me something. You know what I'm saying? Give me something in regards to equivalent of what I'm giving in and of myself. You know, it doesn't have to be the same thing. Like if I give you 5 oranges, I don't need for you to give me 5 oranges back.
Right.
If you have lemons, just
fair exchange.
Give me 5 lemons back.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But I need that the equation to balance itself. You know, don't feel like, because a lot of people say reciprocity, and they automatically say, well, you want me to give you the same thing that you give me, but I'm not you. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, of course you're not me. You're right. But I need for you to give me the same level of energy I'm giving you right now. I need you to give me that back.
In your way.
In your way.
Yeah, because it's not, also, expecting it is not a good thing.
Right.
And that gets rid of the whole, it's such a fine line. Like the expectation, you shouldn't have expectation from people, but at the same time, if I'm giving you some energy, then the energy should be a fair exchange.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
It is.
But it's easily practiced, I think.
I found it easiest once I didn't have expectations back.
Yeah.
But that's you guys both just kind of said, like, that's way easier to say that.
Yes.
Like when you know it, you're like,
yes.
Okay, like even if I was just like, you know, if I asked Joseph for something, like, hey, hand me that, like, I would make sure I said thank you.
Right.
Like, it's such a small thing, but like it would also be like, why not extend, like Joe said, like, I just gave you some energy, try to reciprocate.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why not just, even if it's like, I shouldn't have to say, you know, thank you for handing me this pen, but why not though? Like, why would I just not do it anyways?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or like acknowledgement, like just small stuff, like if he changes something in his room, like, yo, that looks dope. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, why not say it?
Right.
There's like no cost to be kind to people. Like,
right.
And you were saying, like, with strangers and stuff, you make it a point to just say, hey, nice tattoos, I really, and you're like, hey, I didn't know you were paying attention. And people don't really connect with people every day like that.
Right.
And that could go a long way, like, for sure.
I wanted to say, in regards to that, about, in my head, in my everyday interactions, when I go to the grocery store, I go to the little gym, I go wherever I go, in my head, I say, do one thing over what you would normally like. Hi, thank you. Want to buy this? Okay, thank you. How do you like it? Great, that's good. Go one extra step into, how's it going? Oh, I noticed this, and this.
Right.
How's your day?
Right.
Like going extra, and that little cracked smile. Like even, I let somebody in.
Yeah.
From a merge lane or something. You know how people are. They're like,
They
go,
go,
man. I let somebody in, and they like
ran me and
right.
buddy off of the road.
That's funny because those situations,
Lee,
like my
Lee.
pet peeves. Lee, shout out to Lee.
Yeah, they tried to run down the road and kill me. They hit
Shout
my
out to
car.
Lee. But I let this person in, and they looked at the look of surprise on their face, like, what?
Like, why? Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God. I'm like, it doesn't take much, and I would love for people to do that. That's the worst thing on the highway, I think, is merge lanes. When you know that I'm merging and you're still in that lane, and you're not doing nothing.
Right.
So anyway, but yeah, no.
Last question.
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, so this is like you have like I've always messed this up. So you have a vision. You see, like you show up at a place. It's an exercise thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the part of the reason that it's called a eulogy is there's a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People written by it's not Dale Carnegie. It's Stephen Covey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in this, he has an exercise where you envision yourself and you show up at a funeral of someone.
Okay.
And you get in the line for the, I don't know if it's called the procession line, but you're gonna pay your respects.
Mm-hmm.
You're the last person in line, and you get to the casket, and you recognize that the person is yourself.
Okay.
Okay. So now it's time for people to go up and give their eulogy, their experience about your time here, your legacy, and the way that they experienced you as a friend, like a partner, like a lover, or a parent or a business partner, different relationships. And this question is more or less like, how would you hope and how would you expect that these things, what would be said about you at this thing?
Ooh, what would be said about me
That's
at
a
my
good one,
funeral?
isn't it? Oh.
Whoa!
Well, that's a good eulogy
Oh
question.
my gosh! Y'all, my people watching, I need for y'all to answer this question.
Ask them what they would say.
Like,
what they would say about you.
What would you say about Elyse at her funeral, at my funeral? What would you say about me? I'm gonna spill mine, but
I would say that you light up the room. I'm gonna make you do this question yourself because it's what would you hope to be said about
Right.
you, and then we'll worry about what everybody else is saying later. But
So,
what would you hope to be said about you?
that she spoke her mind, very bold, very matter of fact, genuine, original, hard-headed, stubborn. She was a lover of love and the freedom in it. She desired to connect people through love. And I think at the end of the day, if people were to look around the room, that they would actually see that they're all connected there, not just from me or through me, but through the love and through the light that I was able to shine in their life. So, and at the end of the day, I just would want them to continue to let their light shine. You know? Yeah. I'm gonna let it shine. So, yes, oh yeah, I was probably dorky. I'm clumsy. But at the end of the day, she cared about the people who she cared about people. Just in general. She cared about people. She understood that people made the world go round.
I would say I want to put that you are a bold, beautiful, passionate woman.
Aww.
I got that from you, so that's my experience with you that day.
So let me make sure I got this right. You would like to be remembered as a woman who spoke her mind. You were bold. You were genuine. You were original. You were hard-headed. You were a lover of love. You stood for freedom. You had a desire to connect people through love. You encouraged people to let their light shine, and that you genuinely cared about people.
Yes.
Is that a fair
awesome.
assessment?
That's a fair assessment.
I love when he does this.
And that's it. So we're gonna take like a quick, and if you think anything later, we can add that to the list. And I just want to say personally, Joe had his experience. You inspire me, like a lot of the work that you do through the conversation, not only through ideas but with your beingness, the way that you have a genuine desire to be in service to other people. I find that highly inspiring. So it's beautiful.
Awesome.
It's beautiful to meet other people like that, and that's what this show is about. So
That was
thank
an
you for
awesome
that.
question. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man, there's more to come. So yeah, for sure. We done?
Well, yeah, are we doing 15 minutes?
Yeah, we're
Then
doing
we'll be back?
15. Man, give people 15
So
minutes to
we-
get back. I hope Ryan joins in the conversation. Shout out to Bryant. I seen him. He commented a few times, and we're gonna put the camera angle different here.
Yeah,
now.
we got the game
And,
show
we
coming
got
up.
the game show coming up. We got State of Mind, Flow State.
Yeah.
We got a good show coming up. So thank you for being here. We're gonna go ahead and
Yes, pleasure.
take it 15. You guys join us in a little bit.